colleagues, teachers, and friends. Feel very honored to be here to share with you what we know about Chinese developmental dyslexia and about good practices. In Hong Kong, dyslexia is well recognized. Since 2000, Hong Kong University developed standardized tools to identify students with specific learning disabilities in reading and writing for primary school children and also for secondary students. Hong Kong Education Bureau put a lot of money for doing teacher training. So Professor is also one of our trainers for Hong Kong teachers. And our Polytechnic University also involved in teacher training for Chinese language teachers and English language teachers about the instructional strategies for teaching students with specific learning disabilities. And we also have a John Center in Peking University. In Beijing, they do a lot of research in brain research or neuroscience research in dyslexia, but pedagogical issues never mentioned. So they don't do teacher training in Beijing. Professional lack of support in Beijing, but in Hong Kong, we do a lot of teacher training, and government pay really attention on teacher training and professional development. So today I'm just share what I know about what we know about Chinese developmental dyslexia and about the good practices. So the abstract, I'm going to, because time, I only have 20 minutes. So I want to say is learning to read Chinese require rather different insights from young readers than the alphabetic systems. Chinese, in our studies, we found out Chinese readers with dyslexia were best distinguished from age-match control with tasks of morphological awareness and speed naming, speed number naming, and the vocabulary skills. So performance on tasks of visual skill or philological skills fail to distinguish the group. And the finding also suggests that morphological awareness may be a core theoretical construct necessary to explaining variability in reading Chinese. So morphological instruction is the major core components in our teacher training program in Hong Kong and also in Beijing. And later, after this presentation, we have a Chinese corner outside this. So we will display the screening tools we used in Hong Kong and also in Beijing, and also our training materials for children with dyslexia. So the behavior evidence for logical processing and naming speed deficits are the major causes of dyslexia in alphabetic language. But in our study, Chinese dyslexic children can be impaired in one or more of the domains like orthographic knowledge, rapid naming, visual and philological processing. So the connection among orthographic, philological, and the semantic representation in the lexicons of poor readers are weak. So, and the interactive activation and the processing among the representations are slow and inefficient. So Chinese dyslexia, that is a study we have done in Beijing with Beijing Normal University. We found out that the regression analysis reveals that Chinese reader with dyslexia were best distinguished from age-match control with the task of morphological awareness, naming speed, and the vocabulary. And then the past analysis revealed that construct of morphological awareness as the strongest consistent predictor of variety of literacy-related skills across both groups. So the nature of the meta-linguistic insights are important for Chinese readers, depends upon the writing system. So for logical awareness in Chinese, Chinese in mainland China have pinyin training, which is the teaching of phonetics before they start learning to read Chinese. And it has been suggested to be effective in Chinese reading, acquisition, and development. And the 注音符号 sound annotating graphs in Taiwan has led to increased phonological awareness, which is important in Chinese reading acquisition and development. So differences between Mandarin and Cantonese, and in terms of the number of tones, Mandarin we have 4, and Cantonese we have 6 to 9. So you can see how difficult even for normal children to differentiate the different tones, especially difficult for children with dyslexia. Distinct tone syllables and the syllable before differentiation and the rhymes. So Cantonese has a more complicated phonetic system than Mandarin. So in mainland China, spoken dialect is the Putonghua. Phonetic system taught is Pinyin. In Taiwan, it's Mandarin, and 注音符号 in Hong Kong spoken is Cantonese, but phonetic system never taught in the school. So morphological awareness is important to Chinese reading, defined as awareness and of and access to morphemes in words. So can be one word like a 长 orange, okay, one word, and like Chinese we say pineapple, we say 菠萝, it's 2 characters, so meaning is pineapple, and they like 巧克力 chocolate. 3 characters, so the meaning is so can be 1 word, can be 2 words, can be 2 characters, can be 1 character, or 3 characters. So the smallest unit is the meaning. So morphological awareness in Chinese consists of 3 facets. The first one is the morpheme awareness. The second one is the homographic awareness, and the radical awareness. So the morpheme awareness is understanding that the words with the same pronunciation and may have different meanings. Okay, homographic awareness is the understanding that the same character may have different meaning. So the radical awareness concerns understanding the role of radicals in the Chinese writing system. So this is one regular word. So the phonetic part is a hu, so means can represent the sound of the character. It's a hu, it's a lake, okay? But a semantic radical means water, so we know lake is related by water, okay? So this is a homophones, the initial. We say 眉巴, 眉类, 眉喉, or it's 眉, but different meanings. The first is a tail, the second one is a beautiful, the third one is elegant, good, okay? So same sound, but got different meaning in the initial character. And the final also, 游泳, 唱泳, okay, or 泳, but means differently. 泳, the first 泳 means swimming, okay? The second one means singing, okay? So sounds the same, but means differently. And then the homographic awareness is the same character, but share also the different meaning. Okay, 任 means do whatever you like, but the second one, 任命 means appointment. So even the same character got different meaning. And also the homographic awareness in the final, 水手 means the sailor, but the 右手 means your right hand. Okay. So the radical awareness we just mentioned, we have a phonetic radical and a semantic radical. So the phonological and morphological both play important role in detecting prediction of reading abilities of children. So you can see morphological even play more important roles than phonological awareness in Chinese reading. So this is a case study we done in Beijing. This is one case is morphological awareness is weak, was weak, okay, all based on all this test. And then this child is a morphological awareness is weak. So based on the task list here. So the task we represent 9 cognitive constructs of potential importance, understand Chinese reading development, impairment. So we did in 2006, we found out that in the task, like a morpheme production, we give a child 1 character and ask child to produce words from this 1 character. So the test like 草, we give 1 character, and then the child needs to say 草地, like a long, okay? So this kind of task. So you can see morpheme production is one of the strongest predictor and the strongest factors among all these variables. And all these factors contribute 78% for dyslexic children. They significant different among dyslexic and control. So morpheme production is the #1 predictor on Chinese character reading. Again, character dictation, morpheme production, again, is also the strongest predictor to predict Chinese character dictation. And also comprehension, morpheme production is, again, is also the #1 factor contribute on comprehension. So that is why the morphological awareness instruction is important in our teacher training program. So we develop our VCD programs, and also in this VCD programs consists all this most important morphological awareness. So like pictographic characters, simple ideographic characters, compound ideographic characters, semantic phonetic compound characters, orthographic awareness, selection of radical elements, homophone differentiation, homographic awareness, reading and writing activities. So in this, so we use this VCD program in the school, in the primary school, and also in the kindergarten. For 3 months, so twice a week. It consists, each VCD consists of 24 units. So, and then here is the result. So it's like a pictographic awareness. It's like the picture. The Chinese character really look like a picture, like a moon, okay? And then the picture and the ancient characters, the old characters. And then the modern characters. So the 3 parts, from pictures, and then the ancient one, traditional one, ancient one, and then the modern characters. We present the character like this, okay? So this is our training result in last year in 3 primary school and also in kindergarten. So just twice a week, 1 unit each time. So 2 units per week for 3 months. So this is the result. The first task we measure is a morpheme production, we just mentioned. We give 1 character, the child needs to produce words, okay, with the character. So this is experimental group. They watch this VCD, and also because in the VCD we also consist of interactive games and also the worksheet. So the experimental group and the control group can see in the task of phoneme production, the experimental, because only 3 months, okay, so increased 26% compared with the 12% with the control group. And the pseudo word reading, which one is not a real Chinese character. so the child can distinguish pseudo word from real word. So again, the task, the experimental group increased about 10% and control like 5%. It's a double than the control groups. And the morphological radical, so which character is the right one? Okay, so this radical awareness is again. So this experimental increase improved 29%, control is about 17%. And comprehension is which sentence doesn't make any sense, which sentence makes sense. It's a comprehension test. So this is 10% compared with about 4% increase. Okay, word identification, so 春天, the 春, which one? Spring, the 春 is a which one? So this is 14% and 10%. Okay, and the word meaning is 14 and 3%. So, so that is morphological instruction and teacher training in Beijing. We actually, because Beijing, they don't do the teacher training, government, they don't do anything for, they don't provide teacher training. So we invite the professors, our Johnson from Peking University and the Beijing Normal University, they come over to Hong Kong to do the teacher training with us for Hong Kong teachers only. So this is a major part, it's about this morphological instruction. Okay, so that's it. So we will display our morphological training VCDs and our screening tools and also our books. We also use books, but because we didn't have enough time to share the findings of our share book reading, we did it in kindergarten and in primary school. The result is also significant, improve the children's vocabulary and the reading comprehension, use book approach. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Cheng-Lai. I think comparing with other alphabetic systems, the importance you put on the morphological training is quite an issue.